Welcome back. After the 2010-2011 school year, for the first time in its history, the school district received a good rating on its report card from the South Carolina Department of Education. Along with an excellent rating for growth, the district superintendent, Dr. Nancy McGinley, has a plan to build on that success. Well, welcome to Bounce Around Charleston, Dr. McGinley.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, well, what is your 5-year plan for Charleston County School District?
Well, my 5-year plan is to build on what's working. And what's working is our focus on literacy and having a highly effective teacher in every classroom and a highly effective principal. That's what made us achieve the progress we've made thus far. That's what will take us to where we want to go in 5 years.
Wow, what a wonderful plan. Now, I was watching TV the other day and I saw all this new technology in the classrooms. How has that enhanced your students? What is it doing?
Well, this is the first year we're studying it, but we have gone to one-to-one computing, which means iPads in several of our high schools. We're using a school improvement grant. It's designed to keep students engaged, motivated, and to enable them to access information as you would on any job.
Correct.
We also have a pilot going in a couple of our elementary schools, and you would not believe how the applications keep students engaged, teaching writing, teaching reading, individualizing vocabulary. So we're studying this to make sure that it is achieving measurable academic outcomes.
Okay, very good. Now, we just heard that today there was a statement made by our state superintendent, McGinley, about the No Child Left Behind. What do you say about that?
Well, I was surprised and frankly a little bit shocked about the language talking about lowering state standards by our former state superintendents, Inez Tannenbaum and Jim Rex, both of whom have my enormous respect. What I believe they tried to do is to level the playing field between South Carolina and other states, because each state has been able to set their own benchmarks in terms of what is proficient and what is advanced, and South Carolina set them in the past way too high, and it really gave a false indication of what we're doing here as a state. Our students are achieving, we're making progress, and we're making progress in a very significant way, especially in mathematics. And I think the Common Core standards that the nation is beginning to embrace will illustrate that we are on a very positive track as far as education in South Carolina.
That's wonderful. And if we talked about the AYP scores around Charleston County, how's it looking now?
Well, the vast majority of our schools have achieved what they call adequate yearly progress. In fact, as a district, on our national compliance index, we scored a 94%. Unfortunately, you need 100% to be making adequate yearly progress as a district, but we think 94% has us on the right track, and our vision for the next 5 years will be to achieve that 100% compliance.
Now, I've heard something very interesting, and I've got to say it. I guess I'm happy that didn't happen when I was in school, year-round school. What do you say about that?
Well, when students are not where they need to be, or when anybody needs to get better at something, they need to put in more time.
Yes.
And that's what that's about. Now, whether we can afford to do year-round schooling remains to be seen. This is another tight budget year, but what my innovation zone principals and associate superintendent have proposed is extra time, 20 extra days during the summer, not to punish teachers and students, but to give them the additional time that they need to hit these very ambitious goals that we have established as a district. We believe all children can achieve excellence. We think some children are going to need a little extra time to get there, and that's what extended school year is about.
Wow. Okay, now, I have a passion about parent-teacher involvement. What would you say to parents that would just actually motivate them to get involved with their children and their teachers?
I'd say that decades of research show that if parents are involved, if parents read to their children, if they sign their homework, if they stay in touch with the school, children do better. So if you love your child and you want your child to do well in school, stay involved. Even as your child goes up through middle school and high school, nothing takes the place of an involved parent. We can have the best teachers in the world, but when we partner those great teachers with parents, the academic achievement is off the charts.
Okay. But, is there anything that we can look forward to in the very near future in reference to the Charleston County School District?
Well, I'll continue what I've recently made my highest priority, and that is to recognize and reward teachers.
I heard about that. Yes.
I want to make sure that in this year's budget, the highest and first priority is to adjust our teacher salaries. Our teachers and principals have sacrificed for the last 2 years with no increase. They've taken furloughs, and yet the achievement is continuing to go up. And I believe people matter more than anything else, and it's time to recognize and reward our teachers through adequate compensation. So you'll probably hear more about that.
Yeah. So, and I guess you're saying to us that when you reward someone for doing a great job, it gives them the incentive to do even better.
Absolutely, and it keeps them in Charleston County. We've spent a lot of time recruiting the best and the brightest teachers that we can find, so our children have those role models and have those excellent educators in the classroom. I don't want to lose them to other school districts that are paying more money.
Dr. McGinley, we thank you for being here on Bounce Around Charleston, and we wish you a wonderful, successful school year.
And I wish you a wonderful show. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we will have performance by jazz singer and songwriter Ann Caldwell. You don't want to miss it.